Why did I want to get into brewing? That's always a great question.
I couldn't homebrew enough beer to keep up.
It's a great history that is involved in every style of beer.
Thermodynamics, heat transfer, fluid dynamics, biochemistry, chemistry. There is always something to be learned in the brewing industry.
When you have the opportunity to be at Harpoon and work with the great people that are here, create something tangible that you get to sit at the end of the day and taste with your coworkers, it's difficult not to be passionate about it.
A big part of my job is to work on creative development of styles of beers that we're working on down the road, and what comes into play there is working with guys who are sort of newly developing these skills to develop recipes, and I find that to be one of the more rewarding parts of my job. The sort of more creative side, where you break down the ingredients, you break down the malt, hops, yeast selection, and you make decisions about each of those, and you bring that all into play on one plate, which culminates in a test batch of beer, a pilot batch of beer, and that to me is sort of the creative drive behind my brewing career.
The 100 Barrel Series was developed as an opportunity for the brewers to express their creativity by giving them carte blanche to come up with whatever ingredients they wanted to use in any kind of recipe they wanted to develop. I was fortunate enough to be able to do the first batch. I did an oatmeal stout, and it was a lot of fun experimenting with different ingredients, coming up with a different recipe, trying a number of different batches of beer, and having Rich and Dan and a number of people in the brewery taste them to finally decide what we thought was going to be the best beer to produce.
The 100 Barrel Series has given me an opportunity to brew a wet hop beer 4 times since I've worked at Harpoon. Wet hop beer is a style of beer where you brew whatever kind of beer you'd like to brew, but you use wet, freshly picked hops, fresh from the farm. This means you have to somehow get fresh hops to your brewery within 24 hours, so it gave us the opportunity to go on a road trip and actually see a real working hop farm, harvest hops, load them up, and drive back to the brewery on no sleep, brew a beer on no sleep, have a really good time, and make a very excellent beer.
The reason I take pride in making Harpoon is it's the brand that stands for the company. There's no true face of the company, it's the beer. It's the Harpoon IPA that stands for the company, and the people behind that. There's a lot of people behind that, from both breweries in Vermont and in Boston. A lot of people go into getting that beer out onto the shelf, and everybody takes a lot of pride in that, and everybody gets the same amount of credit for that.